reality is we don't know exactly where we're going to be in 2030. That's going to depend on a lot of other things. But we do know, though, that in any business, the three priorities are, can you do a good job taking care of your clients? Sometimes we forget that. If we don't do a good job of that, we're going to be out of business. And then there's got to be a balance between that and how you take care of your shareholders or your investors. So you got to be able to make some money to be able to balance that. And then at the end of the day, you deliver your value to each of those constituencies through your employees, the people that are part of your organization. So I think you begin by answering, what do you need to do to take care of your employees? What do you need to do to take care of your clients? What do you need to do to make sure you can provide some sort of reasonable return for your shareholders? The answer to that question will determine what a particular business should look like in 2030. A culture to me is not necessarily a definition. A culture to me is the way people function. It's the way people interact. And I think really good leaders understand that what they need to be able to do, they need to be able to make sure that people within the organization understand what their mission is. They need to be able to understand that they have clients that they need to be able to take care of. They need to be able to understand that great leadership are people that recognize it's about their people. It's not about themselves. So how do you put that together in a particular culture? I think when your leader really truly holds him or herself accountable and holds his or her people accountable and always treats those people with dignity and respect, you want to be able to operate within a system where you maximize the potential of your individuals, the people that work for you, because they're the ones that got to deliver the value to either the clients or the shareholders. So a culture to me it's a leadership principle. It's a way people interact. It's not a particular definition. That can vary from organization to organization. But the one steadfast principle behind culture is that it's led by leaders who have the best interest of their clients and their employees at heart. So probably the most significant example I have of that, an anecdote that I have of that, would be Coastal Carolina, where I was head football coach. And we had a great season. We ranked 7th in the nation. We were going to the playoffs, playing against Montana, number 4 team in the nation. We're playing at Montana. This game turned out to be the coldest game in the history of college athletics. And with a wind chill, and it was wind chill 100% of the time, minus 26 degrees. How realistically can we expect to go there minus 26 degrees and be effective in this game? Now, football coaches tend to be reasonably charismatic. They tend to be reasonably bright, but they also tend to be blockheads. And they keep telling their guys, hey, this is mind over matter. In this particular case, they said, hey, these guys don't have a shot. Headlines in the paper where the Cowboys playing the Beach Boys. And they don't know what our life is like. I have no doubt their coach is telling them this. So we're tougher than they are. We got this down. This is mind over matter. That's not true. It's cold. So you don't have to learn to adapt and adjust to the cold. It's not mind over matter. It's cold. So we've got special salve on us. We have hot chicken soup on the sideline and thermoses. Everything else would freeze. We have special clothing on. We got these torpedo heaters thing going on. But we get ready to go back on the field. We're warm. And we just have to last for another 3, 4, 5 minutes. We're in the middle of warm-ups. I see Montana come out on the field. They're wearing short sleeves. I think, you know what? I think we got a shot at these guys. Well, after 3 minutes, we're losing 14-0. We score the next 35 points unanswered. Bottom line, we beat the game. Huge upset in the coldest game in the history of college athletics. So whether or not our future workplace environment tends to be remote or some sort of hybrid or everybody's got to be there in person, those things are really secondary to what the actual culture is. And a culture, I think, is determined by the leadership within an organization. And real leaders hold themselves accountable for the success of the organization. They hold their people accountable for the success of the organization. And they always treat their people with dignity and respect. So if their job is to maximize their potential long term, then they've got to be able to create an environment where people can work together in an environment that breeds respect from one person to the other, and a real recognition of what their ultimate job is and the fact that they're going to be held accountable for that. That brings together a culture. So leaders and managers can be the same, but not necessarily by any stretch of the imagination. So I would define a manager as somebody that has a specific amount of responsibility, probably for other people, but within some sort of framework within the larger organization. A leader doesn't necessarily have to have people reporting to them, or doesn't necessarily have to have a tremendous amount of responsibility. A real leader, though, is somebody that has an impact on others. So a lot of managers don't really have an impact on others, and the great leaders, though, do. And the leaders, frankly, that are able to do their job in a way that can generate or maximize the potential of the people that are part of their organization are probably the people that you should look toward as to whether or not they're the right ones to be able to help lead the organization down the road. Therefore, should they have a more significant management responsibility if they don't necessarily have that today. But a leader is somebody who's got an impact on the people around them. So if a real leader knows who they are, has the guts to do what they believe is right, and recognize about the people that they serve, you can get people to follow you anywhere, do whatever you want them or need them to do. The possibility of increasing the potential, of maximizing your potential, the probability of maximizing your potential goes from here to there. So again, when I look back over the span of my career, not many countries in the world where I would have had an opportunity to be able to have two entirely different careers, from having grown up in a gang, uneducated immigrant parents, to have accomplished, at least some of the things that I've been able to accomplish. 100% of that is because this leadership philosophy. Stand on your own 2 feet, take responsibility, take total responsibility for yourself, treat others with dignity and respect, and live with the consequences of your actions. That's been the differentiating factor in my life, whether it's personal, whether it's football, whether it's Wall Street.